So we'll turn to page 14, and we'll begin with Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh HaRachaman, Yedid Nefesh HaRachaman, Meshochavtach, Eretz Ha'onach, Meshochavtach, Yalai
How splendid is your light, illumining the world. My soul is weary, yearning for your love's delight. Please, good God, heal her, reveal to her your face, the pleasure of your presence bathed in your grace. She'll find strength and healing in your sight. Forever will she serve you, grateful with all her might. Lechu Niranena, page 15.
Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Ladonai. Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzoi Shenu, Nikadma Pana Betoda. Naria, Naria, Letzoi Shenu, Bizmirot Naria Lo. Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Ladonai. Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzoi Shenu, Nekadma Pana Betoda. Naria, Naria, Letzoi Shenu, Bizmirot Naria Lo. Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Ladonai. Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Lechu Niranena, Ladonai. Arbaim Shana Akut V'Dor Ba'omar Am Toed Levahem Bahem Lo Yadu Derachai Asher Nishbati V'Yapi Im Yivon Elenuchati.
Page 16.
Shiru l'Adonai
Shir
Shechada
Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz.
Shiru
L'Adonai v'rchu shemo, basur miyom le'yom yeshuato.
Saperu v'goyim
Kodo
kevodo
v'kol ha'amim niflotav. Ki gadol Adonai, ula le'ohol, norahu. Kol Elohim, kol Elohim ha'amim elilim ba'Adonai. Od v'hadar lefanav, tiferet lemikdasho. Avol Adonai mishpechot amim, avol Adonai kavod v'hoz.
Avol Adonai kvosh
Shebo
Zeu mincha Uno lechatzrotav Sh'tag avol Adonai
v'hadat kodesh ilo mipanav kol haaretz. V'goyim Adonai malachoti kontevel atimot. Dinamim b'mesharim.
Yishmechu hashamayim mitageh haaretz. Yiramayam
Eloho
Yalasarai
v'chol asher bo. Yiranenu kol hatzeah lifnei Adonai kiva.
Lichpot haaretz
Tishpot tevel v'tzedek ve'amim responsively, page 17. Adonai is sovereign, let the world rejoice.
God's throne is founded on justice. Though God be clouded from view, divine justice reveals God's presence.
God's lightning illumines the earth. Fire consumes God's foes. Mountains melt like wax before Adonai, the earth trembles.
The heavens proclaim God's righteousness. All people behold God's majesty.
Shame covers those who worship idols, those who take pride in revering images which must themselves bow low before God.
Hearing of your judgments, Adonai, Zion exalts and the cities of Judah rejoice.
You are supreme over all the earth, highly exalted beyond all that is worshipped.
Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the faithful and saves them from the wicked.
Light is stored for the righteous, joy for the honorable.
Rejoice in Adonai, you who are righteous. Acclaim the holiness of God's name.
Sing once again, page 18.
Mizmor Shirul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Ki Nefot Asa, Hoshia Lo Yamino, Uzra Kadsho, Honia Adonai Yeshuato, Le'enei HaGoyim Gila Tzidkato, Zachar Chasdo Ve'emunato, Le'et Yisrael, Ra'u kol ha'aretz, et Yeshuat Eloheinu, Hayu l'Adonai kol ha'aretz, Pitzu v'radenu v'zameru, Zameru l'Adonai v'chino, V'noi v'kol zimra, B'hatzotzrot v'kol shofar, Hayu l'ivnei HaMelech Adonai, Yiramayahu Meloho, Tevel v'yos v'heva, Ne'arot imcha ucha, Yachararim yiranenu, Lifnei Adonai kiva, Lishbot ha'aretz, Nishbot tzedek, Ve'amim b'mesharim, Yala la 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 la, Yala yala la 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 la, Yala la 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 la, Yala la 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 la, Yala la 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 la, Yala 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 la, Yala 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 la la, Yala 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 la la. We continue silently, page 19. Adonai Malach, let me music notes. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakacho.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakacho.
Ki
kadosh Adonai
Eloheinu romemu. Ki
kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakacho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu
lehakacho.
Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai. The Psalm of David, we rise, page 20.
Mizmor leDavid,
Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai, Havul Pra'ozai,
Havul Adonai, Kevot Shemo Yishtach, Havul Adonai, Barak Hare. kol Adonai hamayim el hakavod hierim Adonai hamayim rabim kol Adonai ba'koach kol Adonai kol Adonai shaver arazim v'shaver Adonai erazei hamanon v'yarkidem kemo egel le'adon Messiah kemo verem kol Adonai kotzem lamonesh kol Adonai yachim nidbar yachil Adonai min makanesh kol Adonai olel ayalot vayechesov ye'arot uvechalot kulo merkavod Adonai lama buyashav yishem Adonai melech leolam Adonai oz le'amo yiten Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom
You may be seated. God, whose mighty hand makes nations free, release all captives. Hear our humble plea. Accept the plaintive song we offer to you to praise and glorify your name. We'll turn to Lachadodi, page 21. We'll do the first three and the last three stanzas today.
Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha tishmi'anu el meyuchad Adonai echad לשם תפארת בליתי לך לחדותי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לחדותי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לחדותי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לחדותי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה ומצאי מתוך ההפכה לך שבט בעמק הבכה ויחמול עלייך חמלה לחדותי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לחדותי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה והיו למשיסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבעלייך
עלייך אלוקייך, כבשת חתנה קלה, לך אותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך אותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, ימין
ושמאל
תפרצי ואת אדוני תריצי, את איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה, לך אותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך אותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה,
בואי ושלום
עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה אופן סוחלה,
תוך אמוני עם סגולה,
בואי חלה, בואי חלה, אחד אותי
לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה,
אחד אותי לקראת כלה,
פני
שבת נקבלה.
נקבלה.
You may be seated. The song for Shabbat, page 23.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמחה העליון, ולזמר לשמחה העליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמחה העליון, ולזמר לשמחה העליון. להגיד במוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי אסור עלי נבר, עלי היגיון וכינור. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמחה העליון, ולזמר לשמחה העליון. צדיק אתה מה יפרח, כארז ממנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינון בסבע, דשנים מרננים יהיו להגיד, כי ישר אדוני צורי אלוהו עמלתמו.
The top of 24, the Psalms of Kabbalah Shabbat continue.
Adonai malach geut lavish, lavish Adonai oti tazar, arti kontevel batimot, nachon kisacham me'az, me'olam atah, נעשהו נהרות אדוני, נעשהו נהרות כולם, ייסעו נהרות תוך ים. מכל מים רבים על אדירים בשמריהם, אדיר במרום אדוני, אינו תחננו מאוד. לבית חנה הקודש, אדוני לאורך ימים.
Those who are observing a yard site or in the time of mourning, page 24. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabba, be'alma divrach chirotei v'yamlech malchotei, v'chayachon v'yamachon v'chayei techol Beit Yisrael, b'agalav v'zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitzadar v'yitzalev v'yitzalal shmei d'kudsha b'rechu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damaran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated. So today we did a little bit more of the Chadodi. And I wanted to look at the paragraphs that I added today. So the third paragraph of Chadodi is on page 21. Actually, I'm going to use a different translation. There you go. So Mikdash, Melech, Ir Melucha, the house of the king, the temple of the king, and the city that is so holy, the city of majesty. Kumi tzei, get up, rise up. Mitoch ha'hafecha, get away from this upset, push away the desolation. Rav lach shevet b'mekach, you have dwelled in this valley of tears for far too long. Karva el nafshi gelah, let my soul be restored. I say here with mercy and grace because the Sim Shalom was, the translations here were intended to reflect the poetry. Now, there's a challenge with translation. Because if you translate too literally, you end up translating idiom, and it becomes meaningless. If you try to put the cat's out of the bag into Russian or German, you can say those words, but a Russian or German or a Hebrew speaker will have no idea what you're trying to say with those words. So the challenge is, how do you translate? Do you translate very literally or more poetically? So with the Sim Shalom, their view is generally to be a little bit more poetic, try to get to the point of what it's trying to say, and continue to make it into a poem. This translation has a little bit different view. But I'm looking at the world today, and the city of Jerusalem is the home of Jews, it's a home of Muslims, it's a home of Christians, it's a home of so many people with different viewpoints and ideas and ways of living, although a lot of them seem to like dressing in black. And they struggle to find ways to live together. I mean, my favorite place in Jerusalem. Okay, so if you were to guess my favorite place in Jerusalem, where would you guess? The market? Okay, that's a good one. The Kotel? So I say the Kotel has a special draw on me because whenever I'm in Jerusalem, I find myself there whether I was intending to go or not. So the Kotel is a very special place. But my favorite place in Jerusalem is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. You wouldn't have guessed that one. Why do I love the Church of the Holy Sepulchre? Because you have all these different Christian groups who don't get along at all. And it's not my problem. But it is absolutely fascinating to see the compromises that these various Christian groups have made to sort of not trample over each other. I mean, the steps outside get swept on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by, well, actually, the challenge is, so there's steps from one part of the chapel to the other outside. So starting, from the first riser, that's clearly the steps. But is the bottom just below the riser, is that part of the steps or not part of the steps? So they have, almost a Talmudic argument. And so their compromise is that one church sweeps on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the other sweeps on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and their Sabbath is Sunday, so nobody sweeps on Sunday. But I love the intricacies of these agreements. I mean, there's a ladder sitting outside that has been sitting there since the mid-1800s. The last time they had a compromise over this, there's a fascinating book that I read many years ago about. The big challenge was a number of years ago, they realized the whole thing was falling down. And the Israeli government ended up, I think, paying to hold it up again, because if any one of the groups paid for it, then they would say they had full ownership of the whole thing. And that would be not good. That would break their connections. But for me, the idea of seeing different groups, not perfectly, but somewhat working, and it's the same way when you're in the streets of Jerusalem, in the old city at least. In the new city, it's different. But in the old city, you have people, and they're all going to their holy places, and the time of day you can see if they're going to the Armenian church or the mosque, or they're going to to go pray at the kotel. And the idea of all these different people living there, and what would it be if we could truly, in the city of Melucha, this royal city, in our holy space, if we could truly push away our fears and truly live in peace. Now that would be, it seems like too much of a miracle to ask at times, but how wonderful would that be? That God would, that God would restore our souls and, karva nafshi, restore our souls and redeem us from that challenge. And then the other one is an interesting piece, Vayu limshisa shosayich, that there are those who have tried to destroy, and v'akru kol mevalayich, and the ones who have tried to plunder, and the ones who have tried to destroy are themselves. Midah k'neged midah, what goes around comes around. That those who cause trouble will have their troubles come back to them, but that God will Yasiz alayich Elohais, that God will rejoice with us to see, the end of those trying to cause trouble and the blessing of living together, and that is symbolized with the chatan and the kala, the groom and the bride, that they together will see each other. And the idea that God celebrates, we say this at every wedding, that we take a quote from Lamentations about once again we will see in Jerusalem the sound of the voice, kol hatan v'kol kala, the voice of the groom and the voice of the bride, and everyone shouting and singing and celebrating them. And I think what's so beautiful is that we've done that at every wedding. In the seventh, in the Sheva Brachot, in the seventh bracha, we talk about bringing this joy and gladness back. And we might have imagined, in Lamentations, it says it's not going to happen until some magical time in the future. And we said, no, we're not waiting for the magic. We're not waiting for the Messiah. We're going to live and we're going to find joy now, in this moment. And I think, to me, that is such a vital lesson for our people, that no matter where we have been, no matter what has been, no matter the challenge, no matter the news, no matter what, we still find time to see the joy in the celebration of a couple, in the celebration of a family, in the celebration of a community. This morning I was privileged to participate in a baby naming, but it was a special baby naming because Rabbi Mangold from the temple was there, and it was 2 second cousins getting named. So the cousins, the parents were cousins, the grandparents were siblings, and the memory of the great grandparents was there, and you had all these people that were all there, one big happy family. They go to 2 different shuls, but together they were celebrating and naming their children, and it made for a beautiful way for me to think about going into Shabbat. And I hope that for all of us, we have many more of the simchas and many fewer of the losses and the challenges. So we'll continue to celebrate Shabbat, page 28. We rise. Maybe seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam v'shavanu.
Adonai Tzevot Shemo Echai v'kayam Tamidim l'chaleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Hamarim haravim Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah u'mitzvot u'kimah mishpatim otanu limadeta Aken Adonai Eloheinu v'shakvenu v'kumeinu nasiach v'chukecha v'nismach v'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam v'ed Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu Umahem negeh yomam halayla yomam halayla V'yavatecha tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael
Page 30.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levacha U'b'chol nafshecha U'b'chol me'orecha V'hayu hararim ha'ele Asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom alvavecha V'shinantam levanecha V'libahat bam V'shivtecha v'techa U'v'leptecha v'derech U'v'shachmecha u'kumecha U'kshartam le'ota ha'echa Ve'ayu l'totafot b'neinecha U'ktavtam Amizuzot beitecha U'visharecha Adonai Elohechem emet.
Page 32.
ומכל תמרצות קיבלו עליהם משה וישראל לחדו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נרר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלה מלכותך רלמנך בוקע ים לפני משה זה אלינו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי ברא אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גיא ישראל.
We'll read together at the top of 33. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace, and awaken us again, our sovereign to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all God's people Israel, and over Jerusalem. So we rise, page 34, for Vishamro and the Hatzikadesh. Then we take time for our personal prayer from 35 to 40. And then there's a little more standing after that, so if your knees or hips have enough, sit when you need to sit.
משמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם משמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמר בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. והיום השביעי שבת בי נפש, שבת בי נפש, שבת בי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה
Amen.
ואמן יברא גילותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחייך בית ישראל בגולה ובזמן קריב V'yimeru.
Amen.
Yehesh me'olam me'orach. Le'alam olam me'amaya.
Yitvarach.
Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemerek udeshab leila min kol mirkata v'shirata
Tushvechata v'nechemata damiran le'alma.
V'yimeru.
Amen. When you finished your personal prayer, we continue with Vaychulu, page 47.
Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chotzevam vayechol Elohim hayom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishmot hayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa vayvarech Elohim et yom hashvi vaykadesh oto ki bo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avot Min Maro, Mechaye Metim B'Mamaro, Ha'el HaKadosh She'en Kamo, Hameniach Le'amo, Me'yom Shabbat Kadsho, Ki Amratza Le'aniach Lahem, Ki Amratza Le'aniach Lahem, Le'panav Navod Me'ira V'Pachad, V'nodeh
L'ishmo v'chol yom tamid
Me'od
brachot
El HaHonahot
Adon HaShalom
Nekadesh HaShabbat U'Maret
Shevi u'meniach b'kedusha
Le'amedu Shnei Onen Zecher Le'maseh Bereshit.
We read together at the top of 48, Our God and God of our ancestors, find favor in our Shabbat rest. Instill in us the holiness of your mitzvot, and let your Torah be our portion. Fill our lives with your goodness, and gladden us with your triumph. Cleanse our hearts so we might serve you faithfully, lovingly and willingly, Adonai our God. Grant that we inherit your holy Shabbat, so the people of Israel who hallow your name will always find rest on this day. Praised are you, Adonai, who hallows Shabbat.
Yikaram Yikadash Me'Rabah
Amen.
Be'amad Jivakir Tev Yamlich Makatem Begai Cholam Me'Cholam Leino Me'Yisrael Bagal Avizman Kari B'Imru Amen
Yesh me'rava mevorach le'olam le'olam me'al yitbarach.
Yiparak Mishmak Paratomina Sevina Narvit Levit Halash Mengodesha Brichu Le'ela Min Gomengata Vishirata Tulungata Venegata Damira Me'ama V'Yirehu
Amen.
Titkabal Tzorharvad Honega Yisrael Kodam Avod Mishmaya V'Imrehu Amen Yesh Lamarava Mishmaya V'Chaim Aleinu V'Yamko Yisrael V'Imrehu Amen Oseh Shalom Imramah Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Yamko Yisrael V'Imrehu Amen.
The Kiddush for Shabbat, page 49.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushan b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho me'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'maseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehila l'nikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim.
Mitzrayim kibanu acharta
Me'otanu
ukirashta
mikanim b'shabbat kodshecha
be'ava u'b'ratzon atanu.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
We turn to Aleinu, page 51.
Aleinu l'shameach l'adon hakol, v'atei tefillah yoter breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishbetot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, livnei melech malei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech ha'kol ha'aretz, bayom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad, u'shmo echad.
You may be seated. This week, we remember Morris Asnershansky, Evelyn Sackett, Benjamin Cornfield, Harry Weisberg, Samuel Joltak, Blanche Ryder, Leon Glassman, Max Isaacs, Anna Prolstein, Mary Koppelman, Marcel Miller, Lori Ann Dresner, Lillian Ginsberg, Sadie Plutchuk, Aaron Wall, Joan Glatt, Wendy Benstock, Dora Goldberg, Hyman Seiden, Arthur Drellinger, David Mayer, Elihu Nemiroff, Bernice Schwartz, Abraham Koppelman, Ellen Siegel Dubinsky, Bertel Gordon, Virginia Hyman, Anna Krasner, Frank Fisher Jr., Morton Wygotsky, Lee Shanofsky, Helen Bondi, Ira Green, Leo Freeman, Burton J. Platt, Eileen Rishkis, Ruth Ackerman, Fanny Serkasey, Diana Dorothy Paris Breslov, Morris Lippman, William Hirsch, Rebecca Werner, and David Moed. May their memories be a blessing. Those observing a yahrzeit are in the time of mourning, page 52. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach chirutei v'yamlech malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei techol beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'zman kariv v'yimru amen, yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olomei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'richum, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nachamata damran bi'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Shabbat shalom to everyone. I just want to give a thank you and appreciation to all who came. You know, I was a little bit nervous at the start of the service, and I knew we had a couple of people saying Kaddish, and you guys made it. So thanks for showing up. Thanks for being a part of the minyan. Thanks to those who came on time and those who came right after that. I appreciate all of them. A reminder that we will have the Tizmora concert on January 9th. Hadassah has a chai tea on January 6th on Zoom about fighting anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism. And in the morning we'll have Shabbat services tomorrow at 9. Tomorrow is just cookies, but we'll be joyful together regardless. And it is always a blessing to be together. So Shabbat Shalom, and we'll conclude with Yigdal, page 53.
Yigdal Elohim chai v'yishtabach nimtzar yenei tel metziuto
אחד בן יחיד כייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו. אין לו דמות הגוף ואין הגוף, לא נערך אליו קדושתו. כמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון בן ראשית לראשיתו. הוא נולד בכל אוצר, גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, תעשה סגולתו ותפארתו.
לא קם ישראל כמו שהוא נביא, ומעמיד את אמונתו, תורת נתן לעמואל. הנביאו נאמן ביתו, לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו, צופה ויודע שצרינו, מביט בסוף נאמר מקדמתו. גומר לאיש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רע כרישתו. ישלח לגשמים משיחנו, לפתור מהככרת ששועתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך דיין שם תהילתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו.